Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Parksy here, your coach of the Armaldos, bringing it back to Smash today here for DGBA Season 5 Week 3, where we are going to be going against Jeremiah and the patent Perth Politoeds. Now, his name actually isn't the patent Perth Politoeds, okay? I just want to clear that up. His name is actually, his team name is only the Perth Politoeds, but basically there's an inside meme where Jeremiah, he works a lot, he's got a very weird time zone, and he also works in a job, so he didn't have much free time. He was looking forward to getting his pick done, but the guy before him was online, but it was taking forever to take his pick. So Jeremiah was talking to JJ, and he was saying, "Can this guy hurry up, please? I really want to make my pick." And JJ, instead of saying patient, he said be patent. So now he has the role of a patent toad for he had it for like 2 or 3 days. But anyway, that's just a fun story. Like me, he is 0-2, but he's an incredible battler, so I encourage you guys to go check out his YouTube channel down below. He should hopefully be uploading this video onto his channel, which will be so awesome to see it on his side. He's actually the first YouTuber that hopefully will be uploading the battle versus me, JJ. So we are going to be looking through his team. He actually is 1 differential point lower than me, so he is actually ahead of me in terms of place. I'm pretty sure I'm like second last in my division, so I really need to get this win. It's redemption for one of us. One of us will actually get a slight glimmer of hopes of getting into playoffs, whereas the person who loses is going to be 0-3, and at the very least either -7 differential or -8 differential if I lose. So leave a like if you guys are enjoying, subscribe and comment down below. Quick question today for you all: what is your favorite steel type Pokemon? Put it in the comments. Personally, for me, it's probably gonna have to be Celesteela, because I really want to pick up Celesteela this season, as I said previously. But the guy before me, oh no, not the guy before me, the guy who was some guy took it from me. So I think it was the guy before me. It was one of the new coaches. Might have been, no, it wasn't CMR, no, I don't know, one of the new coaches took it from me, so thank you for that, by the way, thank you for crushing my dreams. But Jeremiah's team consists of Mega Scizor. So Mega Scizor is of course one of the best Megas in the format, being resistant to like about 8 to 10 types, I believe, something crazy like that, and it only has 1 weakness to fire, which makes it often a Pokemon that you have to run lots of HP fire coverage on to actually try and surprise Oko. If he is going to bring it versus my team, I don't expect him to, because so many of my Pokemon get fire coverage. Victini does, Hydreigon does, Aggron does, Togekiss does, Nidoking does, and Hitmonlee does. It actually gets Blaze Kick. But if he brings it, it will either be as an offensive Sword Stance variant or a physically defensive defogging Mega Scizor with Roost to try and take on my Mega Aggron. Next up, he's got Zapdos. This Pokemon is probably the scariest Pokemon on his team, because it only has 2 weaknesses. That is to Ice and to Rock. I have no Ice Stab on this team. I mean, Nidoking sort of gets technically Ice Stab because of like sheer force life orb. That's basically Ice Stab. But my only true stab mon that can hit this thing super effectively is Aerodactyl, and it gets absolutely destroyed by an offensive Zapdos' Thunderbolt. So I got to be really careful of that. Next up, he's got Reuniclus, another Pokemon I think that he's definitely going to bring, maybe as a Calm Mind recover 2 attacks Pokemon. However, he can bring this in many different ways. He can bring this as an Acid Armor Calm Mind set. He can bring this as a Trick Room set. Just a lot of really different ways he can bring this. He also gets 2 different abilities with Reuniclus. He can run Overcoat, Magic Guard, or Regenerator. Okay, so I'm probably expecting him to bring maybe Magic Coat the most, because that makes him immune to any hazard damage, so rocks or T-Spikes, which we'll get into. Magic Guard also prevents him from being status, so like the previously mentioned T-Spikes or any burns or toxics that it gets, it will not be damaged by. Regenerator makes it a nice regenerator, makes it have a nice regenerator core with this Pokemon, which we'll get into a bit. But it allows it to recover 33% of its health when it does get switched out, so it can be quite a nice pivot into some of my mons, just basically to check my spreads potentially. And finally is Overcoat, which honestly is potentially an option to bring versus my team. It's not really something you see on Uniclus too much, but if he wants to have a pivot into my Amoongus, then he can run Overcoat and maybe like Leftovers or something to try and tackle my Amoongus. Next up he's got Florges. Florges is an absolute monster with that base 154 special defense stat. It's also a cleric with Wish, and it gets Heal Bell. Its Moonblast hit quite hard, and I mean, I don't know if he's gonna, like, if he brings Florges, then I mean he needs to bring Florges obviously, unless, because Hydreigon destroys his entire team without Florges. But he needs to bring it, but he also needs to consider that I have a Steel, Fire, and 2 Poison types in my team. So he definitely has to be careful of switching this Pokemon into things that he doesn't accidentally send this thing in on a double into like my Nidoking or my Victini or my Mega Aggron. Next up we got Greninja, which is his first Zmon. It also is his first hazard setter of 2, gives him Spikes and Toxic Spikes. Not really expecting this Pokemon to run Toxic Spikes. If anything, he might be running a Spike 3 attacks Greninja. This Pokemon could do quite a few things. It can Grassinium Z Energy Ball, it can Darkinium Z Dark Pulse, it can Waterium Z Hydro Pump, and it's quite a scary Pokemon just because its Drill Stabs do take down my Victini, and I have quite a hard time struggling. I do have quite a hard time trying to find switch-ins to this Pokemon, especially because its move pool is so massive. I don't care what people say about Greninja being a weak Pokemon, only having base 97 attack and base 103 special attack. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you have those stats, because Greninja's basically only hitting a Pokemon super effectively every single time because of its wide coverage and just its ability to run 4 move slots with just a humongous option to pick from. Usually just this Pokemon can run like 4 attacks, and it can just hit a team. Every single Pokemon on the team, at least for one of its moves, can hit it super effectively. I butchered that sentence, but oh well. Next up we got Flygon. Again, same deal with Scizor. It either is going to be bringing, it's either going to be a Dragon Dance variant or a Defogging variant. If it's going to be a Defogging variant, I most likely expect it to be Scarf. I'll be going through the mock battles, but I believe it was Mike that brought a Scarf Flygon versus me, which makes sense obviously because it outspeeds my Scarf Hydreigon, it speed ties with Scarf Victini, and it also outspeeds some other crucial Pokemon like Scarf Nidoking, and potentially even Scarf Hitmonlee, I guess. I mean, Scarf Hitmonlee's a set, but he can bring that Pokemon like Scarfed with Defog, U-Turn, and Steel Stabs. He has to be careful though, because he needs to find a way to hit my Togekiss with this Pokemon, so that's something he might have to keep in the back of his mind. It can also be a Dragon Dance set. Jingus brought a Dragon Dance sub-dual attacks, Flygon versus Dual Stab Flygon versus me, which is interesting. Excuse me. Next up he's got Shaman, and for all the mocks that I've played, Shaman has not came to any 4 of them. I played 4 mocks and Shaman didn't come once. I don't think he'll bring Shaman just because my first 5 Pokemon absolutely destroy it. Nidoking can KO it with a Sludge Wave or a Poison Jab. Aerodactyl couldn't hit it hard with an Aerial Ace. Hitmonlee, Reckless High Jump Kick 2 KOs it. But yet again, not very many Pokemon do take 2 regular side jump kicks and live to tell the tale. We've got Alola Marowak, which is his only Stealth Rocker on the team, so if he is going to be bringing it, I mostly expect defensive Stealth Rocky variant of Alola Marowak. It's quite a scary Pokemon because it can come in on like stuff like Victini and Galvantula and hit them very hard. It can also take a hit from my Aerodactyl as well, which is kind of scary. But its Dual Stabs, something he's got to consider is that its Dual Stabs and Boomerang. Gonna just no, don't even say anything. Boomerang, its Dual Stabs and Boomerang can all be resisted or taken very easily by my Hydreigon, so he might have to bring something like a Toxic Marowak potentially against my Hydreigon. Next up he's got Mienshao. I do expect this Pokemon to come. Maybe it's a Choice Scarf variant. I speed my Hydreigon. His Scarfers are either going to be Flygon or Mienshao, or else he's going to have no Scarfers on the team. But I can definitely see a 4 attacks Mienshao coming. I definitely have to scout out this Pokemon to check if it is Reckless or if it is Regenerator, because that'll be crucial information to have. Ditto, and the second Pokemon that has never came to any of my mock battles that I've done. Ditto is an interesting Pokemon because it's the least threatening Pokemon on his team, and debatably it's his most threatening Pokemon on the team. basically being able to transform into any one of my Pokemon and being able to hit me with the exact same moves that my Pokemon do have in their at their disposal. And finally, we got Emipalm. Emipalm, it came to one of my mocks. Who brought it? I think it was, yeah, Jingus brought it, and this thing was an absolute nuisance. I mean, I managed to take care of it because I do have some tech for his physical type attackers, but Emipalm is just a nuisance with Technician, Fake Ice, that actually hurt quite a bit. It also has a very wild move pool against the element punches, knockoff, gunk shot. Can also be Technician with stuff like Tail Slap. Without further ado, let's get into the team builder with what Pokemon I decided to bring. Okay, so the first Pokemon on the team is Choice Band Victini. Now, if you guys have seen this team and paid attention to it, you'll know that Choice Band Victini has no switch-ins to his team with Roxup. Everything gets 2-KO'd with Roxup. The only Pokemon on his team that does not get 2-KO'd is Alola Marowak, max HP, max physical defense, Impish Nature, yeah, Impish Nature. It is the only Pokemon on this team that does not get 2-KO'd, and even gets 2-KO'd with Stealth Rocks up because V-Create does 41% to 49.5% JP bullet versus me, and it was a decent Victini check. It it can give them Stealth Rocks, but that's the only Pokemon I'm really fearing as a switch into Victini. Everything else gets 2-KO'd or O-Code. Quick Attack is nice because if things like Greninja, Flygon, potentially Offensive Zapdos, the other Pokemon, Ditto potentially, or Mienshao or Ambipom, or becoming issues in the late game and have about 10 or 20% HP, I can just fire off a Choice Band Quick Attack and just knock them out. I really did not have, I really didn't need anything apart from V-Create on this Victini, which is why the moves look so lackluster, I guess, because just fire coverage destroys his team. A good physical fire type just wrecks him. We've got Trick in case something like a Florges or a defensive Zapdos becomes a bit of an issue late game. If my responses have died, then I can always trick them Choice Band. And finally I got Flare Blitz because if I get PP stalled out of V-Creates, I can always fire off Flare Blitzes, which will do the job just as well. They won't hit as hard, but they'll still 2-KO mostly everything. My first mock battle was against JP, and he actually managed to stall me out of V-Creates. I know, JP using stalling me out of things, like, oh my goodness, that's so crazy, right? But then I managed to fire off V-Creates, and he liked the tech. He definitely liked the tech, which was nice. But yeah, if he tries like Wish protecting me with Florges, if he tries to play around with Pressure Zapdos a bit, if he brings that defensive Alola Marowak set and stalls me out of my V-Creates, then I can always just fire off Flare Blitzes. Next up, finally guys, we have got Hydreigon's debut. We have got Smog, the Hydreigon Expert Belt with 4 attacks, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and U-Turn. With Florges out of the game, this Pokemon just destroys his entire team. I learned from Luke, if you're not going to bring your Fairy type Pokemon, then you know, you're just going to lose to Hydreigon, or your team's going to get very much beaten down by them. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to take the risk. If you don't bring Florges, then you're not really going to have the best switch-ins to Hydreigon. It's not going to be a fun time. And I believe it was Mike who didn't bring Florges versus me. He was the only person that didn't, and he can tell you himself, he struggles switching into this boy. It just fired off Dragon Pulses, and his team really did not appreciate them. We've got enough speed to outspeed a max speed Scizor on this Hydreigon set, which is going to be really awesome. Next up, we've got Togekiss with enough speed, of course, again to outspeed max speed max speed Scizor. We've got Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Baton Pass, and Roost with the Berry Berry. Now, this Pokemon is really to counter the Mega Scizor. It's mostly just to counter his Flygon, because Flygon can only hit Togekiss with 3 moves. It can only hit me with Iron Tail, Stone Edge, and Poison Jab. Now I'm gonna remove Stone Edge from the option because I don't think this Stone Edge doesn't really help him hit much of my team anyway. So we're left with Poison Jab and Iron Tail. I do, if he is a +2 Flygon, I do take a Poison Jab. I am not too KO'd by a Flygon Adamant's Poison Jab, and I am by an Iron Tail, so just swap a very best. It also lets me take a Bullet Punch or 2 from this Mega Scizor, which is going to be very nice. I've just generally have my stabs on this. And Baton Pass is nice in case I predict them to go into the Zapdos or the Florges, and I can go into my responses, like I can go out to Victini and just basically claim one. Next up, we've got Ballistic, the Sylvest Blastoise with 4 attacks. We've got enough speed to Ice Beat a potential Mega Scizor trying to speed creep my Blastoise. So some of my mind games right there. Go me. We've got Rabbit Spin, Dragon Tail, Scald, and Aura Sphere. This set's very nice. We've got the Dragon Tail in case the Reuniclus tries setting up on my Blastoise. I'm like, nah fam. We got the Rabbit Spin because in case he does bring Spikes or Stealth Rocks, there's very low chance that he is going to be bringing Spikes and Stealth Rocks, so I could have debatably not ran a hazard removal this week, but I just felt that it would just be like, it's no harm to bring hazard removal, especially on Blastoise. It's a Pokemon where you can just nicely slot Rapid Spin into, and it doesn't really harm this move pool too much. It's not really a Pokemon like, I don't know, like Decidueye or something like Gliscor or Zapdos where it hurts, or I guess better. A few examples would be like Rotom Wash, where it hurts to have defog or and hazard removal on your Pokemon because you want a wide variety of coverage. No, not for Blastoise. It's just content with its Dragon Tail, Scald, and Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere is nice because it 2 KOs a non-HP invest, well, very low HP invested Greninja, and can let us check it. A Bloom Doom will do just about 60% to us if he is the Grassinium Z-Grass, and that's kind of awesome. Next up, we have got Portobello, the Amoonguss with the Rocky Helmet. We have got Spores, Clear Smog, Hidden Power Fire, and Toxic. A very weird set, but let's go through the defense investment first, or just generally the stats. So we've got enough defense so that we can live 2 of a Adamant, Life Orb, High Jump Kick, Reckless Boosted Mienshais, High Jump Kick. We can take 2 of those, of course. We can actually take it's a 0.4% chance for a max 8 HP max defense Alola Marowak it's a 0.4% chance for it to 3 KO me with a Flare Blitz, which I just thought was insane. That just shows how crazy Amoonguss is. So I can Spore things, I can Clear Smog, I can Hidden Power Fire, and I can Toxic. Hidden Power Fire, of course, is for the Scissor. Clear Smog is if the Reuniclus tries to set up on me. And we've got Spore and Toxic, so basically Spore is very nice because, of course, I get to put a Pokemon to sleep, like it's my Victini or my Hydreigon on free switch, and that's just really what I want, just to give Victini and Hydreigon free switching so they can just destroy his entire team. And I have Toxic because I really didn't have another good option here. Sludge Bomb just didn't do enough to Florges where I considered bringing it. Toxic was nice because he might not be expecting me to have another status option, so he could go out to other things to try and take them. Plus also it's nice because this means that my utility isn't wasted on an Overcoat, Reuniclus, or anything with safety goggles, or Shaman if it does want to come in on the Amoonguss. But that just means I can just generally be doing something every single time with my Amoonguss, so I can just usually stay in and just fire off something. And finally, we have got Jingus the Mega Igron. Sorry, this is a regular Igron, but we had to play on custom game because this is a Baton Pass Togekiss, and Baton Pass isn't allowed on OU, so I had to play a custom game. And on custom games, the Mega Evolutions are already Mega Evolved, so I felt that was a bit unfair. But we've got 248 HP, 24 attack, 284 plus defense, with a 188 special defense. The attack, I believe, is so that we can Oko Mienshai with a Heavy Slam. And this Pokemon is a lure for the Zapdos, okay? So basically, if this is a 3 attacks offensive Zapdos, or even if it's just a defensive Zapdos, we can Avalanche it, and then when we get it low enough, it might Roost, and then we can Earthquake, and then we can continuously Avalanche it and Earthquake, unless he either switches out or tries to attack me, which then he'll be hit with 120 base power Avalanche. I do have Stealth Rocks in this Pokemon, just in case he doesn't run removal, because his 4 removers are Flygon, Orges, Zapdos, and Mega Scizor, which all don't really want to be defogging. They can all be doing different things. Florges can be Wishing, Flygon can be U-turning, Mega Scizor can be recovering with Roost, and so can Zapdos, so that's why his team doesn't really appreciate removing hazards. So if I do get the chance, I can set up Stealth Rocks. It also helps the Greninja get OHKO'd by Victini, because if Victini's V-Create to non-HP, non-defense Greninja does do 97.8%, like 110% or something, so it just helps put Greninja in range, as well as a few other Pokemon like an offensive Reuniclus, which might be Regenerator, in range of my Victini. But let's get to the battle without further ado. Okay, guys, so we are here and we're going to be going against Jeremy. So, a few things you'll be noticing about his team. He firstly did not bring any Zapdos, and that is absolutely insane because, as I said previously, Zapdos was probably the biggest threat versus my team, so I'm super glad that he didn't bring it. Also, he did not bring the Mega Scissor, which could have been a little bit of an issue to my Togekiss and could have also cleaned up a late game, so I'm glad that that thing didn't come, but I can understand why I didn't bring that Pokemon. He did bring a team of Greninja, Florges, Reuniclus, Flygon, Mienshai, and Ditto, so looking at this team, he might be running double Scarfer with either the Mienshai or the Flygon being a secondary Scarfer and Ditto most likely being a first Scarfer. He's got Reuniclus, which I'm honestly expecting to be overcoat looking at this team layout because he didn't really have anything for Amoonguss apart from Ice Beam Greninja, which it's almost guaranteed that he has Ice Beam Greninja because his entire team gets mollywopped by Amoonguss apart from Greninja, which should be running Ice Beam. Florges probably just the wish set. Flygon I felt would probably be the defogger because it's either Ed or Florges that can run defog, and I've got a Webs team with Tox Spikes and Stealth Rocks. Okay, you have to run like Kaz removal versus me, and of course the Mienshai. I really it was a 50-50 again whether this thing would be Reckless or whether it would be a regenerator build, but let's get right into the battle. Okay, I had to zoom it in just because it's annoying me having like the screen recorders slide over the chat. But anyway, we're gonna go play. As you are gonna see that I'm gonna lead off with my Amoonguss here, as he is going to send out his as he is going to send out his Greninja. Now, I'm really scared about what this Greninja can do. It can do quite a few things, so I'm just going to go into the Blastoise because it is my reliable response to this Greninja. I am Assault Vest, I am Max Defense, as he's going to go for the U-turn here, and he is going to, in fact, go switch out into the Florges, of course, to take the special hits. I'm actually going to go into slow because it seems like my laptop's a little bit slow. Also, the new update for Google's been like, I've got like the new update for Google. It's really been messing with my computer. I don't know why, but anyway, he goes out into the Mienshai, makes a nice double out into it. As he's going to go for the U-turn here, he's going to take Rocky Helmet Chip, as he also reveals to be a Life Orb set. So this is going to let me know if this Mienshai is actually a regenerator Mienshai or not, because if it's not, then this just took 25% just right off the bat. So he is just going to go switch out into the Ditto, and this is absolutely huge because this Ditto is going to be taking a massive V-Create, as his reaction probably seeing my moveset was just, what the heck is this guy doing? He's running two fire type moves, Trick and Quick Attack, but I am going to go switch out into my Agon here. I do take two V-Creates from a Victini. Also I am immune to Trick, obviously, so the Greninja is going to go for the Scald. Unfortunately no Scald Burn, as you're going to see. That doesn't matter, as he actually turns out to be the Grassinium Z Bloom Doom, but my Assault Vest Blastoise is going to chew that, and we're going to go for the Aura Sphere. So we're going to be chunking, we're going to take a chunk out of that Greninja down to 48%, as we are going to go out into Amoonguss on the U-turn. Either that or the Scald, but I predicted he'll probably go for the U-turn. I really want to keep Florges away because now Greninja is in the range where Victini will knock it out. He makes a very nice switch into his Greninja, or sorry, a double into his Greninja, as he knows that Victini is going to come out. I am just going to go sack off my Blastoise because it is death fodder by this point. He's going to go for Ice Beam. He's going to get the freeze again 2 weeks in a row, but hey, it doesn't really matter because this is a 10% Blastoise, and I'm just basically sacking this off. I was probably going to go for Scald anyway, but this is great because now the Greninja will be dying to 3 Stealth Rock switch-ins. As I really want to click Stealth Rocks here, but I felt like the Greninja would be quite a bit of a threat, so I decided to go for the Earthquake here, not really wanting to risk anything, as he is just going to go into the Reuniclus. This does show me that it is a physically defensive Reuniclus, as he does make another double into Flygon. My days, this guy's really into his doubles, but I am going to go out into my Togekiss. I can afford to play safe here, even though I am down 5 to 6, because I have whittled down the Greninja to the point where it's going to be very hard to wish pass into anything with the Greninja. Also, the Ditto is down to the point where it will be knocked out from 3 Stealth Rock switching. So he is going to go out into the Mienshai, a very risky play, as I am going to go for the Baton Pass, and I'm going to be able to Baton Pass into my Portobello, as I do realize this is a regenerator Mienshai with the Life Orb. Yes, this is going to be quite hard to switch into, as he is going to go switch out into Reuniclus here, as I do realize that this is a Magic Guard Reuniclus. It is not a regenerator Reuniclus because it didn't regenerate its damage that it took, nor is it a overcoat build because if it was, then it would not be affected by Spore. As I'm going to go out into Hydreigon, he has to appreciate the fact that I could be a choice Scarfed Hydreigon, which doesn't really make sense versus his team too much, but oh well, it did the trick. So he's going to go for the Aromatherapy, as he is going to wake up his Reuniclus. I am just going to go for the V-Create here, as he decides to make a major misplay and go out into his Greninja. He told me afterwards that this was because he wanted to go into Greninja, trying to make me feel using the choice band, but I mean, I would just rather 2 KO every single Pokemon on your team, to be honest. So I'm going to go out into the Togekiss here. He does reveal the Rock Slide, very nice prep on his part. I did predict him to have the Iron Tail, but oh well. I am going to be able to roast up the damage here, making a little bit of a play myself, predicting him to switch out and not wanting to take a Dazzling Gleam that I already showed. As I'm going to go for the Baton Pass here, and this is very nice because his team, apart from me and Shout, has no momentum. He can't U-turn, he can't Volt Switch across my team. So this is nice because I get to Baton Pass here, and if he switches out, then I get initiative. If he stays in, then I just get a send, and my switch and just forges every single time. So I'm just going to go for the Decreate on this Reuniclus, as he is going to scout out the damage, as he is going to go for the Recover. Now I notice that I'm a choice band Victini, and he does have to send in a Pokemon to take an absolute chunk from this damage, as he does decide to sack off his Ditto. He did say that it was really a toss-up in the final slot for what he wanted to bring. He wanted to bring Shaman, or he wanted to bring Ditto, or another Pokemon, maybe Ambipom, I think he said that he wanted to bring. But so far we have now we've now changed the course of this match from being down 5-6, now being up 5-4. As you're going to see, he's going to go for the Dragon Dance here with the Flygon. As I'm just going to fire off the Avalanche here, I'm going to try and knock out this Flygon. As I do go for the Avalanche here, he is going to eat his Yachi Berry. That is a very nice bring on his part, because it does make him be able to set up on my Nidoking. So he can at least set up a Dragon Dance on my Nidoking and actually switch into it, I guess, technically. So I'm just going to knock it out with 2 Avalanches. It's +2 Earthquake, does absolutely nothing. I even live a +2 Crit Earthquake. I was made to live a +3 Flygon Earthquake. Not also that, but I could live a 2 Flare Blitzes from a max attack Alolan Marowak's Flare Blitz. So he's just going to be chipped down a lot more by the Mienshao. As you're quickly going to realize, his team really does not have anything that wants to be switching in to Mungus anymore. So he's going to make a double out into Mienshao, a very good play. But I can afford to play safe here. So I'm just going to go out into my Mungus here. Again, I really don't care, as he's just going to go for the high jump kick. Sorry for the lagging, guys, but my laptop's been lagging a lot recently, and I think it's a new Chrome update, so if any of you guys can tell me how to delete the new Chrome update, that'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I'm just going to go into my Togekiss here in the U-turn. I don't really care if this thing wants to go for another high jump kick or what. I do take the hit, plus also I do get another Air Slash off, so I'm going to go for the Air Slash here, and I know that he is going to either recover here or Calm Mind to the next turn, because he is very low. So I'm going to go for the Baton Pass here, as he does decide to actually go for the Calm Mind here, so that was quite a misplay on his part. He maybe should have went for the recovery, so he'd have taken a hit, but Victini at -1 does take a Shadow Ball from a fully physically defensive Reuniclus, or at least a defensively invested Reuniclus. I take like 82%. From a max special attack Reuniclus without special defense drop, so that's fine. So I'm just going to go into the Mungus here. He has very little switch into this Pokemon. He has very little Pokemon that he can switch out into to get the Regenerator boost onto his Mienshao. And as soon as all the Pokemon go, as soon as Florges goes, then that means that I will actually be able to just whittle this Mienshao down without the Regenerator boost. So he is going to get chipped down to 14%. I'll make a bit of a misplay here. I feel like he is going to hard switch out into the Florges, trying to preserve differential or trying to claw back this game. As he goes for the high jump kick here, bit of a questionable play, but hey, I think it was my only misplay of the game, and it only cost me a bit of a differential point. I would have rather I would have differential is important, especially because I'm 0-2, so it really matters. But it's not worth risking the entire game over, as you're gonna see that my Victini gets its 4th kill of the game, I believe. As he's just going to go out into the Mienshao, and I'm just going to go out to my Mungus at walls. Any hit this Pokemon wants to go for, I do take 2 high jump kicks set previously. As actually with these rules, I might be able to take 3, but I'm just going to go for the Toxic here. So I'm not even going to be able to get off the Toxic, because I'm speaking a little bit faster than the game is going. But he's going to go for another high jump kick. He is going to just knock himself out because he runs into my Rocky Helmet. So a kill finally for a Mungus. Go a Mungus. But thanks guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Smog's debut, and it got onto the field for 1 turn out of 47 turns, and it didn't even get to attack. I had to double out into Smog. I mean, I sent out Smog and then I immediately doubled out, so Smog just didn't get to hit this game. So go High Dragon, I guess. But my next opponent is coach of the London Arsenal, sorry, excuse me. But that's going to be a very scary matchup. But stay tuned for next week. Shout out to new subscriber Baron. Hope you enjoy your stay, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.